What's going on, friends? How are y'all doing? How are y'all doing? Well, today on the live show, we're going to spend about 15 to 30 minutes just sharing, just talking about, well, first answering your questions to the best of it we can, and then answering anything about also the proposals in Congress and the outlook on that for the Dignity Act, for example, or the one related to the startup entrepreneur visa. Happy to chat about it. We did have a video, a couple of videos and shows about that on Tuesday and last Saturday, I believe. So as you're tuning in, go ahead and chime in. Let us know in the comment section where you're watching from. Love to know how far the channel's reaching, because here we're just trying to hopefully solve your immigration problem, or at least point you in the right direction if possible. Okay, so some news to share with you in the meantime, as any comments come in or questions. There is just my general outlook, okay, on the proposals for Congress is that we really need something. Although we prefer comprehensive immigration reform, that clearly has taken some time, not just one full year under President Biden administration, but 20 plus years have since the last major legislation law about immigration. So, with that being said, it has to be even more realistic. We've already had several proposals, more than several, as you know. I said Plan ABC through their efforts, or I mean, I would hope that they really did try. All we can know is what the news reports, right? But I really think it was a lack of effort, if you want my honest opinion. And here's why: it's because no, there's been any of those reports that came out about, oh, it didn't, no traction, no traction. Well, none of it actually encouraged or gave any heat to Republicans. Have you noticed that? That seems a little strange considering, the past 4 years. Not saying there has to be any more like disagreements necessarily. That's normal. That's common in Congress when you're trying to get a law passed, that there will be disagreements. But there has been no verbal pushing, I guess you could say, encouragement of immigration. If anything, any pushback has been these two quote unquote moderate Democrats, Krista Sinema from Arizona and the Manchin, Joe Manchin from West Virginia. So, don't you find that a little strange? Is it? It can't be just that they're waiting. They're waiting to give Republicans a hard time because of these two Democrats, moderate Democrats. So I find that strange, but I do believe it's more so because if anyone wonders why, I think it's because the Biden administration and Democrats in general in office want to, yeah, give us some hearts, hit the like button, appreciate that if you enjoy the content. Um, but yeah, it's because they probably want to focus on the Build Back Better Act and things of that nature. Okay, that the infrastructure bill that President Biden has been talking about during his campaign. Okay, so and as you can tell, I think just what Monday, Valentine's Day. Oh, so by the way, happy belated Valentine's Day to all of you. Hope you had a wonderful week so far. Um, there was a report on Valentine's Day. This is what I heard. I didn't watch it, but a reporter asked President Biden what he thought about these protests and immigration reform, and he said it's Valentine's Day. And that was a bit frustrating, I'm sure, to some, if not most of y'all, because it doesn't matter if it's Valentine's Day. You should be responding appropriately to the question. I can understand if you don't have time to give a in-depth, full answer, but this is a thing that each party has a problem with, and this is why it's hard to get bipartisan effort. They always stick to their own platform, like at all times, and there's no wiggle room. So, and when they do that, there's unfortunately less likely situation to be bipartisan effort on the bill because they always stick to the platform, and that's very unfortunate, and that does hurt the people ultimately. So, not trying to talk as a politician, but this is just very frustrating. But anyways, if you have any questions in the meantime, friends, we're 5 minutes in. Happy to see if I can answer any questions. I would like to share some success stories in the meantime. I know a lot of y'all have been um, waiting a long time for your visa interview if you're waiting abroad. That's actually partly why I have the live show around this time, because I know trying to make it conducive for y'all who are outside America, different time zones. And anyway, so the solution, if you've been waiting for more than a year after the petition has been approved, okay, then you might want to consider hiring a lawyer for a mandamus. Now, of course, it doesn't have to be me. It could be, there's plenty of good lawyers that do this across the country. This is something that we help with as well. But at the end of the day, when we've had a couple people sign up recently, for example, they said, John, I wish I knew this option before. Filing a mandamus is basically, it is a federal lawsuit against the appropriate relevant immigration agencies in the United States. Okay, so this has helped a lot of, unfortunately, knock on wood, 100% of our clients who signed up with us to do this. So it varies from waiting for a visa interview, or maybe they already had a visa interview and they received a document that says 221G and they're refusing the visa. And it's frustrating for everyone involved, because sometimes the interviews are only like 2 minutes or 5 minutes, and the officer didn't say anything specific about wanting XYZ document. And the applicant, like yourself, had the document right in front of them. Or if they wanted, for example, I believe it's called the DS5535 form filled out. They don't ask that for everyone. So we've been telling all our clients to fill that out. It's that one form that asks additional questions about your background, things of that nature. They don't. Not every officer cares about that. So it's just kind of strange, right? They ask it for specific people if they just have like some kind of inkling that there's something wrong with this person's background. So it's not an even playing field. If they really want that document, they should ask in advance, so it saves everyone time. Because our clients, and I'm sure you have, just when you fill out the form or you provide the documents responsive to what it says on a 221G, you provide it, probably everyone we've talked to provide it within the day or the next day, and then they have to wait at least 3 months. I mean, that's the thing. There's no processing time for this situation, waiting after 221G. And so we've had success on these cases, fortunately. And this is when the government thinks that, they can take advantage of people, because I think they don't know about what is a legal option, the solution after that kind of situation. And I'll share a couple more examples of when mandamus is a viable, good option. But I do see a couple questions here. I'll try to answer here. Let's see. Okay, Singh, you said that your VAWA was approved in November 2021. That's great. Congratulations. You received a letter, and yesterday again. So I'm assuming your letter you're talking about is the approval notice that you received in November. That's great. And then yesterday, maybe you checked the case status online, if that's what you mean, showing approved today. Kind of weird. Yeah, it is completely weird. I mean, number one, glad you've been approved for it, because as you know, it takes VAWA petitions take a while, usually a couple years minimum. And then now you can apply you should be able to apply for your 485, your adjustment of status, and with the work permit application 765. Okay, so you might as well file for the I-131, by the way, application for advanced parole, a travel document, because it's supposed to be free when it's included with everything. But anyways, I think it's weird, okay, but I would say that the USCIS case status online is not necessarily accurate. For example, in terms of timing and what to expect after that, because sorry, that's my dog wanting to get out. 1 second. but it's not completely abnormal because um, it's just inaccurate. It really infers, implies um, certain inaccurate timing. Because, for example, 3 months in after filing the case, adjustment of status application, sometimes they'll send us a notification saying, "Oh, your case is ready for interview." It just means it's in line. Okay, it doesn't mean that it's going to be scheduled on like 60 days from now. They don't have a black and white, not even, probably not even a guideline. I've never worked for USCS, so I'm not sure. But based on case experience, you know, the case status online is not accurate. So weird, but not abnormal. Okay, MI. Let's see. After working with your employer for over 3 months under TN, can I share a script on what we should say to your boss to request if you can petition EB3? Okay. I may have had a similar question earlier this week about that. Um, I feel like I'm kind of like a coach in that way, because it's funny because I do offer some tips. I mean, this kind of question is not really like immigration advice, but in the sense that, speaking more as an employer, you know, number one, in general, you want to be upfront, okay? Because as an employer, or on our perspective, or like HR, human resources, we have limited time in a day, right? Life is short, clearly, with the pandemic and everything going on, which I hope everyone, your families are safe and healthy. And but it's been tough out there, so, but just in general, right? I mean, employers just have limited time, so you want to consider that. And very few, actually, employers have their own lawyer in general, and we call that a general counsel. If companies or employers need legal advice, they just go and, Google search, or however they do it, and they look for one at that moment in need. So but of course, some companies, especially the big corporations, have a full-time lawyer as a general counsel. So I'm sharing all this context because, for the reason that I recommend, like if someone were to apply to my law firm, for example, I would like to know if it all works out resume wise and in person, or video call these days. If it all works out that way, I also would like to know if they need to be sponsored, because there's cost involved. It's not cheap. Filing for residency for on behalf of a employee is not cheap, and some of you might know, for H-1B, it's not cheap either. It's So that's why we offer membership plans where it's lower cost, just to find out if someone is selected from the lottery, and just help them with registration in the first place for a strategy session. So many. With that being said, with people not having a lawyer on staff, then that means 99% of the time, they most likely will not know about the immigration process, my friends. So, to some extent, hopefully this answers your question. I don't necessarily have a full script. It's more like strategy. Um, but yeah, it, I wouldn't say it I wouldn't mention, "Oh, I need sponsorship," in the first thing you say out of your mouth during interview. But, just gauge the interview, see how it goes. You definitely want to build the rapport and build a good relationship first in general. But in this situation for you, of course, you've already been working for this person for 3 months. Um, I don't want to say it's too early to ask, but if you really think if you think as you really have a good relationship with this person, I would start soon. Okay. And here's why. It just depends on timing. So, for example, if your profession um, qualifies for H-1B, and today is February 18th, the first day to registration for H-1B with the Department of Labor, USCIS, is the first 2 weeks of March. So it's coming up. The good thing for you, and under TN, you have a couple years, right? But I always suggest, in general, if you have a good relationship now, Oh yeah, MI, so you're a registered nurse, so it's worth asking, okay? Especially in your profession, MI, because um, oh yeah, I think we spoke last week or a couple days ago. Thanks for tuning into the channel. Um, but yeah, it's definitely worth asking, especially these days with the pandemic and hospitals or clinics really need people in your position. In our opinion, we call this essential worker. So hopefully that helps. Okay. Anyone else that's watching this later, seeing. Let's see. How long does ICE make a decision on PD request? Okay. You requested it back in San Francisco back in January 4th, so a little more than a month ago, and you haven't heard anything back. You're waiting for them to make a decision so you can request to dismiss your court case so you can adjust with USCIS. Yeah, I definitely see your concern. So in this situation, it's not a PD request anymore because usually PD requests, I mean, we help with removal cases as well, but we're very selective. I mean, we're selective with cases in general. But in this situation, so you already made your request, but PD request usually means to administratively close your case, meaning it's not active in court, but it's inactive, but it's still in court. Okay. So, but what you want now, because you have a VAWA approval, I-360, you want to file a motion to dismiss or terminate your proceedings. So I wouldn't say you need a lawyer, but the way you're phrasing your question, it sounds like possibly you don't have a lawyer. So again, it doesn't have to be our office. We're here to share knowledge. Okay, that's the purpose of our channel, and point you in the right direction. And plenty of great lawyers in San Francisco that I know, or that area. Okay, so but yeah, you want to file a motion to dismiss and terminate proceedings and include a copy of that approval notice. Okay. And for me, at least my strategy, I'm just putting it all out there. I would prepare the 485 application at least, and so that they have a copy of it. Now, to take that even a step further, this could be a strategy decision with your own lawyer or attorney. Is that we call it fee it in. We pay the fee, 1225. You would have to pay that, and so that I believe judges like to see it, that in addition to seeing the application itself and the proof, is to see the proof of payment to USCIS, and then allow you to so that they'll dismiss which essentially means cancel the case in court and move your case to USCIS so USCIS can continue processing, as you know. Okay, so I've got a question. Hopefully it helps, Sing. So, by the way, friends, if you want a lawyer in your area, immigration lawyers, since it's federal law, we can practice, we can help clients in other states, right? I'm in Texas, and we help clients across the world, essentially. But if you prefer a lawyer close to you, completely understand, let us know. Fill out the intake form down below, answer a couple questions, and just put a comment there and said, John said that we can ask for a lawyer in an XYZ city, and we'll try our best. I mean, it might take a week because there's a bunch of groups that we're part of to ask for referrals. But some cities we already have a network that we know of attorneys there. Okay. By the way, friends, if you're new to our channel, please click subscribe down below. We greatly appreciate it, and hit the like button. Okay. It really helps. It's free, and it helps free for you, and it helps us share more information with others. I'm not sure how the Google algorithm works, but apparently it's been working the past couple of years for me. So I appreciate it, everyone that's been following so far. We have this question about reform. Oh, sorry, before I forget, we do offer free 15 minutes consultation, preliminary discussion. It's not always going to be with me. Okay, friends, I do have limited time, especially now with two little kiddos, but also I'm managing the law firm, so I'm not always going to be the one. You might just get lucky, but if you want to confirm and want to speak with me directly, you will most likely have to pay for it. Okay, pretty soon. Okay, because looking at my schedule the next couple months, it's going to be tough. But otherwise, the default is to have a free 15 minutes consultation with one of our associate attorneys. And so anyways, to get the secret code, just wait a couple more minutes, or just so you can get that secret code. We're going to share it with you. And the way to contact us is the phone number up above, 346-330-5888. Or you can, answer a couple questions on the link below on our website. Okay, so going to why is the Dignity Act / redemption is passed, when do you think you can file for papers? You haven't seen your parents for 10 years. I'm so sorry to hear that. Yeah, it's been a long time. If that's a big question, because even if it passes today on one chamber of Congress, let's say the House, the Senate still has to pass it as well, their version. And if there's differences, then it goes to a committee, and that takes time. That's why laws in general take a long time to pass, and then it gets to the president's desk. But in between all that, before it gets to the president, those politicians have to agree to when it becomes effective. So it's not like when President Obama created DACA, for example, and his administration, specifically his branch, executive branch, was able to quickly just pick a date. And usually something like that is it's effective like a couple months out, I believe, back then for DACA. So it's hard to say. I can't tell you. I don't know when you can file your papers based on that. It's just still too early. Okay. Let's see this. By the way, if you're watching this, you can still drop a question in the comment section, and our team will try our best to respond to you. But if it's very detailed, by the way, we really suggest not sharing too detailed information on YouTube on the comment section, and just schedule on our website. Okay, we greatly appreciate it. And then, so let's see here. Emma, you said that under TN visa, you can purchase a home. If you do purchase a home in Texas, will that affect your future TN visa renewal? Well, if somehow, buying a property is public records, but if somehow, when I say public records, I mean that you can find it online. So if an officer, whether it's a consulate officer, a customs officer, wherever you are renewing your TN visa, if they really wanted to, they could search, but in a sense, at the same time, I know what you're trying to say. You're wondering if it's buying a home shows intent to reside here permanently, as in forever, essentially. But there's no requirement under TN that says that you have to rent an apartment. Okay, you can always sell your house in the future. So hopefully that helps. But that's a great question. Yeah, you can definitely buy a home. I don't think I completely made the full circle information earlier about TN to EB, for example. But if your occupation or job title, the duties qualify for H-1B, then that's why I recommend that, because for your employer to know, because the registration is in a couple of weeks, and it only happens one time a year for the registration. Okay. And then the reason is because for that reason, you have to wait one time a year. And then the other reason is because H-1B allows dual intent. You can still start the EB process under TN, but when it comes to the point where it gets to closer to the petition and adjustment of status application, we won't be able to file adjustment of status for you in that sense for TN. You have to have the interview in your country of nationality at the consulate or U.S. embassy. So that's why it's just a strategy session is required in that kind of situation. Okay. Thanks, Y. I appreciate it. Thanks for subscribing, smashing the like button every time. We greatly appreciate it. Okay, friends. So here is the secret code. You could have guessed it. Here it is. It should be on the bottom left of your screen. Green card, guys. Okay, friends. And by the way, this is how you can answer our form, go check out our website. We try to make this as user-friendly as possible. Go to Contact Us page, and then you can self-schedule right there. Okay, friends, until next time, please continue being safe. Take care.